Welcome to Writing Down Your Soul. Brand new, very brand new event, intensive experience in the theater of the miraculous, where we are going to dive into, explore, experience the paradox of writing down your soul, the mystery, the great mystery, and the magic of writing down your soul. In a phrase, it's this: you are not writing. Yes, you have a journal in your lap. Yes, you have a pen in your hand. Yes, words are coming out of the pen, but you're actually not writing. You are being written. I'm Janet Conner, and I used to just be able to say author of Writing Down Your Soul, and here she is in her many iterations. Perhaps you've seen or even have the original that came out January 1st of 2009. And then for a decade, the owl carried her through the world. Everybody loves the owl. Icon owl. But this year, to celebrate 12 years, she's 12 and a half years old. My fabulous publisher, Mango Press, now has the imprint for Canary, came out with a new edition. And so this time you get, in addition to, I get so excited about all the wonderful endorsements people sent. There's a lovely foreword by Dawn Montefusco, who teaches writing. And it's her personal story of, whoa, writing down your soul. And then for the first time in print, I get to tell the best story of my life, Michael's story, The Man Who Crashed, my very first book signing, to tell me the one thing that isn't in this book. Writing Down Your Soul is a romance. So I've been teaching Writing Down Your Soul for 13 or 14 years, maybe even longer, because I started trying to share and explain this process, which I originally called sacred journaling, to try to convey what was unique about it. And then just before the book came out, I started teaching 4-week courses. And then after the book came out and traveling around the country for almost 2 years, teaching thousands and thousands of people deep soul writing. My own life dropped into another layer, another place, another room in the mystic. When first Sophia arrived in 2014, and I could not write, dear God, it wouldn't come out of my hand. She insisted that she be called Beloved Vibration of Sophia, ! Everything changed. Everything changed. When God changes her pronouns, let me tell you, everything changes. You use any title, any name, any word, any pronoun that speaks to your heart. My personal experience was, because we've been so constrained with God, He, for 3,000 years, that when you open to God, she will. So the next thing that happened was she whispered prayer artist in my ear in the middle of the night. And the next morning, in writing, in soul writing, I wrote with tears dripping off my face. I do not know what prayer artist is, but I'm pretty sure it changes everything, and I'm scared. But if you want me to be your prayer artist, I will be your prayer artist. I had barely finished that last part of the sentence, and pow, the first prayer in a whole new genre of prayers as love songs arrived. And then I said yes to redefining prayer. And I did teach it one more time in 2019, Deep Soul Writing in the Mystic. But there was so much else. There were so many other things to offer. Obviously, as a prayer artist, I need to offer you prayer intensives. And so I stopped teaching all my books, all 7 of them. Then, thanks to this book, thanks to the request from my publisher to get new endorsements, I received 1 year ago on August 2nd, a wild endorsement from Rabbi Tirza Firestone, who had led a Tree of Life prayer intensive with me that spring. And in it, she said, Janet Conner is a prayer artist, scholar, and 21st century witch. I never called myself a witch. I never even thought of myself as a witch. I was still carrying that, you don't want to be called a witch, right? But just like Sophia landed in my body, just like prayer artist landed in my body, the word witch absolutely landed in my body. And I said yes. In this past year, it has just been miracle after miracle after miracle, surprise after surprise after surprise. So I thought, you might think, author of Deep Soul Writing, voice of the divine feminine, prayer artist, mystic witch. That's kind of a lifetime's worth of excitement, don't you think? This is important to me, and I think it's important for me to tell you this story. Every one of them is like the invitation. It's the next room in the house. It's the next thing that's happening. There is no end. There is no arrival. That is patriarchal conditioning, that you think you're supposed to get somewhere. And so you set a goal and you accomplish these things. That is patriarchy. And we are so conditioned that we don't even know we're conditioned. And so this is why I do not think of myself, don't even want to use the word self-help, because that sounds like I want to get over here. I want to accomplish this. So what are the 2 to 3 to 5 steps to get me there? And I'm going to take a little workshop or read a little book and learn this little thing. And then I will have arrived and I'll know that thing and I can check it off. No. What Deep Soul Writing has helped me to see is that there is no line. There is no goal. There is no arrival. There is only this intimate dance. This is this spiral that goes deeper and deeper into the mystic. Having said that, I tell you, this past month, I was shocked in Deep Soul Writing to receive the next magical invitation to be the producer director in the Theater of the Miraculous. What? You sure about this? But I know from this history that the next invitation is just going to be all the more miraculous, all the more magical, all the more beautiful, and everything I need to begin to create it will arrive, and it will arrive in her timing. And I will be as thrilled and excited as everyone I invite to come and play. I'm no one's teacher. I have said that since Writing Down Your Soul came out. I'm not your teacher. The voice is your teacher. And so I am discovering a much deeper and more mystical understanding of what this means. Who is the voice? So I explored it in Deep Soul Writing and received information in the middle of the night and first thing in the morning, lying still on my pillow. These are all threshold moments. That's what this event is all about. Writing down your soul is not about writing. I don't define it as writing. I define it as a threshold practice. What is the threshold? The threshold is the way you're designed. The threshold is the way the world is designed. The threshold is this mystical, magical theta brainwave state between worlds. In the patriarchal world, trees are trees. Across that threshold, in the mystical world, trees are alive. Trees are creating the world. Trees are in conversation with you. All you have to do is say hello, ask a question. Every animal is alive. Every animal is conscious. Every animal is in communication with you. Your journal is alive. Everything, you'll notice some of my friends here, that's not a painting of Joan of Arc. She's here, she's alive, she's talking to me. Hilda Moore of Weird. You think that's just a needle felt doll? She is so alive. I'm in conversation with her constantly. She is a threshold being. All the saints and the ancestors are threshold beings. And so what I started 24 years ago, it was miraculous because I could show up, pick up a pen, say hello to dear God. I wrote to DG, dear God, in those days. And DG would speak to me, come through the pen, and I changed my life according to what I received. It's pretty miraculous. But I see now it was just a baby beginning, a baby understanding. And whatever I tell you today, whatever we experience in this Theater of the Miraculous event is still just another moment, another experience. So the way we're going to experience deep soul writing, this threshold practice in the Theater of the Miraculous, is not following the book. Now, I get the book and all the gifts that come with it. If you haven't already gotten them on the book page, we're going to put everything, every one of those gifts on the resource page for this event so that you find everything in one place. And I'm recording new bonus videos. And as we spend time together, I know how this goes. I'll get a tap in the middle of the night and go, oh yeah. And I'll create more bonus videos and more prayers and more PDFs, and all of it will be for you. But when we gather in 4 weeks in September, the 4 live events are on the 4 Tuesdays in September, 7, 14, 21, 28, at 7 o'clock at night Eastern. And that's a good time to pick up all of the United States and then cross the globe and pick up the Pacific Rim and Guam and New Zealand and Australia. And then our beloved Angela Meakin, who lives in Shropshire, will host a UK watch party on Thursdays at 7 o'clock UK, which is 2 o'clock Eastern. And anyone can come to it, not just our friends in Europe. And I always come to those as well. So between Angela and I, we've picked up, I think, all of the possibilities, all the time zones that could possibly work for you. And if you can't come live, don't worry about it. Everything is recorded and on the resource page. So I wondered, okay, in the Theater of the Miraculous, how would we discover, explore, learn, writing down your soul? And of course, she always shows me, she always guides me, she always leads me. And over the past couple of weeks, she has helped me see a way to talk about this that we've never used before. And so the 4 C's are the container, the contained, the continuum, and the community. You're the community. But it's not just you. It's your mystic family. It's your ancestors. It's your sacred feminine, goddess, gods, divine voice. You are multitudes. And all of them show up. And then, of course, we have this container. It's just a blank journal. The cover will look like that until you. I have been soul writing for 24 years. 24 years. And I know that I have only just begun. Without fail, I'm surprised, I'm shocked. I cry, I laugh. I look up from the page and go, really? What? This is a container. This is a container, and we're going to treat it like the sacred container it is. We're going to sanctify the page and invite your sacred voice to show up. I'm going to teach you how to develop your solar and lunar prayers and say them every day. I'm going to show you how to track the numeric vibration in the moon every single day. Not because, oh, we got to do it the way Janet does it. Oh, heavens, no. These are experiments. These are experiments. If you came to a play with me, there would be the words, there would be the actors, there would be the stage, there would be the audience, but your emotional experience, your big ahas, your healing, your tears might be completely different from mine, and I'm sitting right next to you. So this community gathering on Zoom is a container. Your body is a container. The room you're in is a container. And so we're going to look at the sacred vibration and glory and possibility in your space, in your body, in your journal. That's the container now, the contained. The contained, once upon a time, had a name, Dear God, that quickly became DG. And then when Sophia arrived, this world of contained, this world of magic, she has endless names. She has endless, and of course, didn't our pre-patriarchal ancestors know this? You cannot count how many goddesses there are, right? She is infinite. She is infinite. And she isn't an external being to be worshipped. She is Mother Earth. She is the mystical body. She is you. She is me. We will never be able to define, describe, put the contained in a box. We can only show up, invoke her, invite her, and then follow where she leads. This container holds miracles and magic. The continuum You could think of it as the 24-hour clock. And it's endless. It's endless. Deep soul writing, I used to think happened on the page. Very quickly, however, I learned that it happens in the middle of the night, that it happens first thing in the morning before you wake up in that liminal space. This is why, even though I didn't understand it, I put that beautiful Rumi quote in Writing Down Your Soul and have slowly grown into beginning to understand it. When he says, the breeze at dawn has something to tell you, don't go back to sleep. People are crossing the threshold between worlds. Don't go back to sleep. What is that threshold? We can experience, we can drop into it as the theta brainwave state. This is how you're wired. But under our patriarchal corporate and financial and educational and familial and religious systems, we've actually been blocked from the theta brainwave state. It's been sort of a no-no because that's where the magic happens. That's where you're not owned, you're not governed. There are no laws to obey. This is creativity. This is what musicians and artists know. This is why Van Gogh kept painting regardless of the suffering, the magic, the mystery, the ideas you don't have them. Where did that come from? You think Janet came up with prayer artists? It's like, what? They arrive, but they arrive because you create the container for the contained to arrive around the clock. So I'm going to share with you some of the richest threshold, liminal moments for me, and then say, hey, go play. Go play. And you will probably discover some that I never heard of. We're going to come together in this theater and share our experiences, and we will deep soul write together every single time. Because if 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 or 20 of us drop into the theta brainwave state, yes, even on a global Zoom, everybody drops into the theta brainwave state. And when we share afterwards, and no one ever has to say anything or share anything, but people are so excited about it that we go, well, I want to tell you what happened and what came through, and whoa. You know what we will discover is that somebody writing in Germany suddenly discovers that someone in South Africa is writing about exactly the same thing at exactly the same time. And somebody in Kansas City says, oh, what? But that's a miracle of what happens when you open yourself as the container and the contained arrives. Community, container, contained, continuum. It's magic. It's a paradox. It's the mystery. You are not writing. You are being written. Written at the speed of love. And you have no idea what's going to happen. You're not in control. You don't want to be in control. You just want to pick up that pen and put your hand in the hand of love and follow where love leads. And believe me, she will lead you somewhere you couldn't have planned, you couldn't have asked for. It's not a straight line. You will simply drop into the mystic and be so grateful. So grateful for the magic, the wonder, the mystery of writing down your soul. So read the whole landing page, look at the schedule, register, choose whatever pricing structure is best for you, and join me and the real contained on September 7th to experiment in the theater of the miraculous with this magical, mystical threshold practice of writing down your soul.